The time has come for me to move my office for the winter. My husband has already moved his stuff out. He's into our bedroom. I got a new piece of furniture that he put together for me, as well as the cart that I had before. So I'm going to get everything organized in today's Tiny Tidy. The stuff is also going. Finally getting rid of this shaky. This shaky shelf is going. As usual, the full playlist of all the Tiny Tidy channels are in my description box so that you can keep on going and get all of your little Tiny Tidies done today. Let me know in the comment section, what are you working on? Originally, I thought that this pole would be just perfect for my washi tapes, and so you're going to see me start and then change my mind, because originally I start putting on the washi tapes that I think I'm going to use, and then I quickly realized that's a bad plan because I don't want to have to unscrew the roll and pull it out every time I want to use washi tapes. So what I end up doing is putting all of my off-season washies on there, like my fall washies that I know I'm not going to be using for a long time. Those are the ones I end up storing on the spool. Once I got those off-season washies on the spool, then I realized I don't really know what I want to do with the other washi tapes, so I decided it would be best if I worked on some other things and got the things that are obvious put away, and then I'll be able to make some of those smaller decisions after. Actually, decisions about smaller things, but they actually end up being the bigger decisions, because a small decision is where to put things like books. When it comes to organizing, I really like to start with whatever the easy decisions are first, the things that are super obvious, and then I can move out to the things that are a little bit harder to decide. That way, those easy things have given me encouragement and motivation to keep going and to fight decision fatigue. The most obvious decision is going to be where to put the books, because you can see those shelves under the drawers, so that makes it pretty obvious. They're not tall enough for me to stand the books up, so I'm going to lay them down horizontally. I have journals that I use for Bible study, and then I also have a notebook that I used when I was planning our Disney trip. So the journals that I use for my Bible studies, I don't really need to have those out, but the way my church goes is you go through these Bible studies and then you help other people go through them. So I really want to keep my answers, but I don't need to keep them upstairs. I'm going to put them in the basement with our books. And then I start going through some of my notebooks, deciding what I will keep and what I will get rid of. So I don't really end up getting rid of a whole lot, but I do find a few things to get rid of. This pink notebook I used when I was planning our Disney trip, and so I don't need that stuff anymore, but I didn't really use a lot of pages, so I decided I would just take out the pages that I used, and then I can put this notebook down with our homeschool materials, and that way if anybody needs a notebook, that one will be available to them. I also realized that I had some teacher manuals from some curriculum that I have purchased and decided not to use this year, so that will go with unused curriculum in the basement, and I'll decide whether or not I'm going to use those next year. Once that decision is made, then I'll know whether I can declutter those or not, but I do have a box that is specifically for unused curriculum in the basement. Got out all of my sticker books, and I thought, boy, they will just fit perfectly right in this spot, and it's so exciting to me that when I am working in my prayer journal in the morning or in my planner, they'll all be right there. And then I had a lot of loose sticker sheets that had come from older books that I had been keeping, and I decided I would go ahead and declutter those because I have not even touched them in the longest time. I keep putting things in drawers and then taking them out because I just can't seem to make a decision, but I'm having a blast here, I have to say. But those were little journals that I use for my business when I'm jotting down ideas. So I had decided to take those out and redecide where they might go. And then I decided to put the prayer journal I'm going to use next, as well as the one I'm using now, right underneath my pens. And they just fit perfectly. It made me honestly way more happier than it should have. Then I decided that it would make sense to put those washi tapes in this drawer underneath, and then it'll be right underneath my stickers. But it takes me a minute to figure out the system I want to use. At first, I'm stacking them like this, and then I realized, no, it's going to be way too hard for me to see them. So I have to kind of work through the process, and this is how I externally process what I'm doing and whether or not it will work. I just have to try something, and then I realize it doesn't work, and I decide to change it. And so when I change it, I'm going to flip them and stack them so that I can see the edges of all the washies, which you're going to see here in just a second. There we go. So I decided it would be better to put them like this, and then I could see them each day. And this is working out pretty well. I've been using it for a few days now, although I do believe I need to get some smaller containers to put in this drawer. So it's the perfect time of year to start looking for organization stuff, because stores are going to be having that stuff coming out for January, which is National Organization Month, which I never knew, but it makes sense because all of us are desiring to organize in January, and I'm actually super excited to get going on reorganizing different areas of my home, and I definitely plan on taking you along with me. If you've never clicked on the subscribe button, go ahead and click on it now, and click on the little bell and select all notifications so that YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And here I am putting some of my, or trying to put some of my YouTube stuff in there, but then I realized that my microphone is too thick for this narrow drawer, so back to the drawing board on that idea. I end up moving them to the other cart, which makes so much more sense because I don't use them every day like I do my planner and journal stuff. Since this is a wrapping station that I'm kind of doing my own thing with, my idea is to put cricut rolls down here. Let's see if that works, because I hardly ever use them. Right now, they're like here, here, and those don't bother me so much because they're contained, but these loose ones drive me nuts because then you can't really open this. Oh, and I don't need this either. I can get rid of that, and then I'm hoping to empty this because this is like old and just discolored and nasty. So I feel like this stuff could move up there. So then I have this one. Empty. And then I can take this stuff out. See that? So annoying. Let me know if you have a Cricut machine, and if you do, what do you like to make with your Cricut? My daughter Ava has done some t-shirts and stuff with my Cricut. I've done labels with it. I've tried to do stickers. It was really, really hard, but it's definitely a goal of mine for 2023 to utilize this more. I know there's so many more things I could be doing with it. And then I still have room for wrapping paper right here. Ooh. I'm definitely trying to keep things cleaned up as I go so that I don't have a big mess. And then next I decide it's time to move my spare pens over. So I have the Papermate pens that I just love for journaling because they don't bleed through. I mean, you'll see the shadowing, but you never see them bleed through. From this Christmas song, from this Christmas song. On this Christmas.
You remember when we went to that living? I was like,
this is getting decluttered. I've been kind of carrying around this cardstock for no reason, but it is going in this drawer with some other papers that I have, and that way it's super accessible where it is with the printer. I do not have our printer paper here, and that might be something I need to change at some point. Right now it is with the homeschool stuff in the dining room, and so I am putting these pens behind the washi tape, and I realize it's not the most perfect system, but until I get some smaller containers to go in this drawer, it's just going to have to be good enough, and so far so good. These are spare pens. I have bought extra pens because certain favorite colors will run out of ink, so then I use these whenever the other ones run out of ink. I got a great idea to put my new planner in this drawer, but as it turns out it doesn't fit, so plan B for the new planner. This is a box of cards that I haven't used yet, as well as some cards that I got previously from people that I wanted to keep, as well as some journals. So I'm just quickly going through it, deciding what to keep, what to get rid of, and deciding where they're going to go. So the greeting cards, I decided I would go ahead and put in my drawer, the keepsake ones as well as blank ones that I would like to use, and then I keep the journals in this cute little box that a friend of mine gave me, and it makes a nice little decoration piece. This drawer is perfect for the things that I use when I'm paying bills, so I am putting all of my materials that I use when I pay bills in this drawer. I'm realizing the things that are more personal to me are on the cart on the left, and things that are a bit more work related are in the cart on the right. Here is my setup, and I could not be happier. I did put a little air plant. I definitely need, maybe a couple of plants or something cute here. But for right now, I have the function, so that is half the battle. Look at this sweet little guy that Yvonne bought for me. I love those little birds. All right, so I have some unused journals here and all of my eyeglasses. I have a good number of them, but I'm always losing them. And then this is stuff for YouTube. That's stuff for YouTube. That is my planner that I showed you guys in either my last video or the one before that. Still waiting on the stuff for the inside. This is my stationery and some cards that I've been sent. This is cardstock and my Cricut rolls. See, this is our normal printer that we use every day. This was my daughter Rachel's that was supposed to be for my Cricut stuff, was supposed to be for her art stuff, but honestly, not the best. So if you have a recommendation on a good printer to use for like planner stickers, art, that sort of thing, would you let me know? I know some of you are artists. Okay, so my desk, I really don't want that. I just need to not lose. That's why it's there. But I don't really want anything here because I don't really like, it just always looks messy having a glass desk. All right, so here I do have my roll of Christmas wrap. And then down there are the Cricut loose, it won't focus, but the Cricut loose rolls. And then here I have my planner stickers, my pens, my Cricut scissors. And then this is my current prayer journal, and that will be the journal I use next, which I'm in love with. This is a mug that my family got me. These are off-season washies, so I put them there because I'm not going to want to take them on and off. It's really cumbersome. This is for bows, I think, because this is really a wrapping station, as I said. So up here, this is not going to last long at all. I need to get some small containers for in here. I got to measure and do that. This is my bill paying stuff. I keep notes here, my envelopes, checks. And then here, little notebooks and journals, just little odds and ends, glue dots, and the whiteout that I really don't use. I could probably get rid of it, honestly. And then my books. These are the books that I need for Optavia. This was one I was going to read, haven't done it. And then prayer journals that I've already used and a couple of books that I would like to read. I am so happy. It came out so good. And that's why I call it a tiny tidy. It's because it was just sheer pleasure, so it felt tiny. Everyone else's tiny tidies are in my description box, so I hope that you just keep on watching. And I'll put my full tiny tidy playlist here on the screen, and you can click on that if you'd like. And just keep on watching, and I'll see you over there. Remember, as always, that God loves you, and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.